The abuse and death of children is absolutely the most horrendous thing that we can ever hear about. And, you can hear a lot. When I look at Telegram, I know what the military have been doing underground, and, just the children that were found dead under the WH, and if you know what I mean by WH, and the CAP, underground military bases that have been there for, I guess, years. And it's all for the purpose of abusing children and stuff like that. But the military has been taking care of that. But really the point of this video is a friend of mine that was on Facebook. They posted about saying that if you still back up the Catholic Church after, the children that have been found dead and abused and all that, then unfriend me. And there's two ways to think about what he said. First of all, if you understand where he's coming from, instead of looking at it like, oh, what a horrible thing to say that, this person's against God and all that. And, you really need to understand from his point of view that the abuse of children is the most horrendous thing that could ever happen. And for me personally, I was sexually abused, my sister was, by this man, this pervert. And the damage that could be done in such an abusive situation, it can cause you to stop trusting people. And I remember when the abuse was happening to me, I was like, I don't know what was going on. Is this normal? And, so basically, my abuser showed me pornographic pictures, and, that's what opened the door of, I guess you could say, that weakness that was in my life, something that was hard to control. Looking at it, and it opens up the door to pornography and such because of, his actions. And not only that, but so many other things that somebody could deal with, in such a situation. But, understanding it from, my Facebook friend's post, you can understand his feelings about it. That, how can you, support something that as clearly has a few examples of people doing such, but, facing it logically, and from I guess you could say a Christian standpoint, why throw the baby out with the bathwater, Because just because the bathwater is dirty doesn't mean that the baby is, So, I just, I really wanted to create this video to really counter that, because we have both a personal and a moral argument. There's, something about denying God as a whole just because of a few people. So, his friend, who is a self-proclaimed atheist, had said that that's why he's an atheist, because there's hypocrites in every religion. So, there's a lot of people that actually feel that way. So, the question that came to mind is, if you went to the store and you bought a bag of apples, and you happen to take an apple out of the bag because you're hungry, you want a snack, but you end up finding out that the apple that you picked is rotten, it has a hole in it. So what do? Do you take that entire bag and you throw it out without inspecting each one? And that's the key word, inspecting. And I have a video out there that's called Inspecting the Fruit. So, logically, which action are you going to take? You're going to inspect every one, or are you going just to throw the entire thing out saying that all of it is rotten? And just because some people are rotten, some people, doesn't mean that you discount all of them and that all of them are bad. Abraham, asked God about that thing because I believe he had in mind, his nephew Lot and his family. Is he going to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah? All of it? What if there's like 50 or 40 or 30 or 20 or 10? Or what if there's 5 people in there that are righteous? And God said, I will not destroy it for those 5 righteous people. And so it goes to show just how just God is. So what did God do? He took Lot and his family out, showing just how, loving he was. Now, let's ask this question. If a few Catholics are pedophiles, does that mean all are? And you can ask every individual Catholic person. You can explore their life and see whether they're, pedophiles or not, just to say that all Catholics are pedophiles is not right. And I recall, it's not about like a Catholic church when I was younger or an Episcopal church. After experiencing God like I did, I came up with a judgment saying, wow, all these people in here, don't have God and all that, and they must be really of the world. And God said that in every denomination, there are those that are for me. So God corrected me on that. Now, let me use a stupid analogy with cheese. Let's say you go to a cheese aisle and you never had cheese before, so you're experimenting. So you go to Limburger cheese and you smell it and like, oh my gosh, this is a horrible cheese. I'm never going to eat cheese again. So the question is, just because Limburger smells bad, does that mean all cheese smells bad? So with God, let's turn it over to God. What some people who are self-proclaimed atheists say that they will not follow God because there are a lot of, people in different religions that are hypocrites. But just because some people are does not mean that all Christians are. Are you willing to look and explore at every Christian? Or are you just using it as an excuse not to have to follow God? That's my question. So, my question is this: what does God approve of and disapprove of? Well, if you don't know, then how can you have a position like that, saying that you're going to dismiss God when you don't even know what he approves and disapproves of? You can know what he approves and disapproves of by reading his word. You would know that he does not approve of the abuse of children. You would know that he doesn't approve of the killing of them. So another question is, what do you want God to do because you're an atheist? So you're not turning to God because of all these different arguments, well, the evil that's in the world and all that. Well, you're not going to turn to God because of these, different examples. But if you come up with a question or a judgment saying that you're not going to turn to God because God's not taking care of all the evil that's in the world, what about the evil that you do daily? You may gossip. You may deny the homeless help. You may treat them, different people disrespectfully. You may do what he doesn't approve of. And the biggest thing is, since you are a self-proclaimed atheist, what about rejecting Jesus himself? You're resisting God's Son which is the biggest slap in the face to God. God said that, whoever accepts the Son accepts him, and whoever rejects the Son rejects him. So you could talk about, how, you're not turning to God because of all the different evil that's in the world. Well, that's the biggest thing that you're doing that's not right, by rejecting his Son. And whoever rejects the Son does not have life. So in closing, I'm going to state the fact that just because, certain evil is allowed to exist does not mean that that's going to be like that forever. One day God will deal with the evil on the day of judgment. So I'm going to end it here. Thanks for watching.